Bring in the judge and get his perspective right now. What's happening? Andrew Napolitano with us now. What do you expect today? Not guilty is the plea that has been entered, Judge.
Well, I'm not surprised that he would plead not guilty. First of all, it's standard operating procedure to do that. Secondly, he has told virtually, I guess not virtually, literally, all the people that have interviewed him in the past 4 or 5 days that he intends to plead not guilty, that he did not lie to Congress, that it was an innocent mistake about whether or not several of over 1 million emails and text messages contained information the members of Congress were asking about. The interesting thing about the not guilty plea and the determination to go to trial, Bill, is, as many of your previous guests are saying, a trial can't happen overnight. In this district, the District of Columbia, in this courthouse, with this caseload, a trial probably wouldn't occur for another year. Wow. What will be going on a year from now besides the trial of Roger
Iowa
Stone?
caucus.
There you go. That could very well happen right in the middle of the primaries, and Bob Mueller may very well have bought himself another year in office in order to complete at least Roger Stone's trial.
Okay. Jake Gibson, our producer inside the courtroom, is emailing now. Judge Robinson, he says, did not say anything about a gag order. So as far as Jake knows at the moment, we know right now he can talk when he comes out of that courtroom.
I am surprised that the government did not ask for a gag order. They usually do that. They did that at the arraignment of Paul Manafort, and it was granted. So if Roger Stone does not have a gag order on him, expect him in front of those microphones in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, I
Bill.
think so. On Friday, when he's back in court at 1:30, Judge Amy Jackson, I do believe, presides on Friday afternoon. I don't know if you know these judges involved or not, but
I know Judge Jackson very well. She is the judge in the Manafort case. She's very, very tough and by the book.
Is she the one who said no talking?
Yes.
The day after Manafort?
Yes, and she's the one that incarcerated Manafort for, according to her and according to the government, talking to potential witnesses against him.
All right, you're just listening to Ronna McDaniel. We may see Stone come out here. That's why we're hanging with this.
Okay.
She was declarative. No collusion, no evidence of it, and no collusion found in this indictment.
Well, you know, Bob Mueller and his team have been by the book and not leaked anything. The only public statement they made outside of documents submitted in court and words articulated in court was to criticize the BuzzFeed article of 2 weeks ago. We don't know what he has. We do know that Roger Stone was not charged with any type of conspiracy, though he is accused of being involved in the distribution of Mrs. Clinton's emails by WikiLeaks. He is not accused of being any part of a conspiratorial agent between the Trump campaign and the Russians, who probably are the hackers that got those emails and gave them the
Okay,
WikiLeaks.
so you've read through the indictment. What's Mueller's team looking for? What do they want to
What are they looking
here?
for? They're looking to squeeze Roger Stone. That's the reason for the Gestapo-like tactics last Friday morning at his house, where they sent twice the number of people to arrest him as the Department of Defense sent to kill Osama bin Laden. I mean, this just isn't supposed to happen in America unless the government has some ulterior motive for using brute force. In this case, they want to try and terrify Roger Stone into cooperating with him, as Rick Gates, Paul Manafort, George Papadopoulos, and General Mike Flynn have done.
Okay, just a clarification here. Jake's saying it's unclear about that gag order, but he's huddling with his lawyers right now near the exit, so we're going to find out in real time what the situation is, Judge.
A lot of judges like gag orders because they believe it brings about a purer jury, jurors who have not heard the defendant on cable television or on the evening news stating his side of events. I am in the minority view. In my view, the defendant has every right to say whatever he wants about why he's not guilty, and he shouldn't be silenced. This particular judge is a strong believer in gag orders. It is essentially the Manafort violation of the gag order imposed on him, which resulted in his pre-trial incarceration.
Okay, suffice to say, we don't know what the ruling is at the moment, but we're going to find out together. I see a lot of movement there. Hang on. I don't know if that's Stone or not moving through the crowd.
There he is.
Go. Let's just see if we can pick something up here. Washington, D.C. Perhaps we just got our answer, Judge.
It seems I've never seen Roger Stone pass microphones and a camera without stopping before, Bill, so I think we probably do have the answer.
What happens on Friday then at 1:30?
Well, they begin to talk with some specifics about the nature of the evidence against him and when it's going to be revealed to the government. There's a very serious issue about the nature of the evidence against him. These 5 allegations of lying have been reduced to writing. The questions put to him and the answers he gave that the government says were lies. The government will not give a transcript of those alleged lies to Mr. Stone or to his lawyers. That's a very, very serious constitutional issue because of something in the Constitution called the Confrontation Clause, which allows defendants to be confronted with the evidence against them. He needs to have the evidence in front of him in order to address it, and the government won't give it to him because the government's argument is that the transcript is of a secret, classified hearing, even though it's a hearing in which he participated as the witness. Okay. That's one of the first issues the court has to resolve.
If you're working through WikiLeaks, right, you're trying to encourage the distribution of Hillary Clinton emails, let's say, is that illegal?
No.
Or is it just illegal to lie about it?
Well, it's illegal to lie about it under oath, which is what he is charged with doing. But he was not, as I understand it, a member of the campaign. So for a private citizen to call up Julian Assange and say, hey, Julian, you got some bad stuff about Hillary, release it now because I want Trump to win. That is a perfectly lawful conversation, and he is not charged with any crime involving that because that's not a crime. If the campaign were to ask a foreign group or foreign entity for help, that is problematic and perhaps criminal because of the federal campaign laws that prohibit campaigns from receiving benefits from foreign persons, nationals, or governments.
You know, Judge, you joked, as we saw Roger Stone just depart the courthouse there a few moments ago, that he hardly walks by cameras without saying anything, and we did not hear from him. We didn't hear from him as he entered the courtroom. He waved to a small crowd of supporters, but otherwise you saw a lot of protesters there yelling, lock him up, carrying signs reading dirty traitor. Why do you think that Roger Stone has chosen to go as public? And I believe, Judge, you're still with us. Why has he gone so public the last few days leading up to this, when typically wouldn't it be better to stay quiet?
Yes. I mean, this is Roger's in-your-face style. This is Roger's way of saying to the people who produced that brute force on him and his wife and his dogs at 6 o'clock in the morning, Friday morning, you can't intimidate me. I believe in the jury system, and I'm going to put some of you on the witness stand to show a jury that there's no case against me. At least that's what he said in one of the interviews. Now, a lot of lawyers, criminal defense lawyers, don't like that because the government is aware of what criminal defendants are saying in their own behalf. And if they take the witness stand in their own defense, that is more of an opportunity for the government to cross-examine them. Sometimes by the time the trial comes a year from now, the allegations have changed, the atmosphere has changed, and he may wish he didn't say certain things that he's already said. The government has those things. They can run the tapes and they can cross-examine or embarrass him.